Hey everybody, so today we're going to be making a cross and a heart and a mandala and a lot of things. So first we are going to start by centering the shirt, and to accomplish that we'll just do the old-fashioned way and fold it in half. And then we'll mark both sides of the front and back. And I'm using a Crayola Super Tip washable marker. That is what I would recommend, or some sort of washable marker. The way I get that front part is just to kind of slowly pull the T out, and once I can see the crease I just mark it. Then we'll pull it inside out. And then I'm going to throw this sleeve into this sleeve. Takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get it. And then I match up the seam lines here. Give it a little shake and just kind of help everything come together there. So there you have it, front and back centered. Gonna pull out the front and start on our design. And we're gonna do a 12-inch cross. I might extend it a little bit, and probably just gonna do 2 finger lengths down, because I'm also going to attempt to put a heart or maybe a mandala down on the bottom. Haven't quite decided yet, but I'm going to put a heart on one sleeve and a mandala on the other sleeve. So that'll be fun, and I am going to extend the tail on this about 1 inch or 2. It's not quite as crisp as it should be, but it's there. And also I'm going to just kind of mark where it ends, because that'll help me when I flip the shirt over. Also, you probably can't see it in the camera, but I can see pretty much through the shirt and where I made all the marks, and I just like to mark out the edges so that I can get a good reference point and where to draw my lines. And again, this isn't super precise, so my final line won't come out as precise as it should, but with practice and experience, you can do it pretty easily. So our first fold will get us about halfway down the arm of the cross. So again, just trying to keep everything flat. We'll do another fold at the top of the cross, and another fold right here on the arm. And this this shirt has been soaked in soda ash for about a half hour, and then I spun it out in the washer, and then I let it sit for about a day. so it's not totally dry, but it's pretty dry, and it'll help get a good clean white line when I tie it with the sinew, but allowing it to dry will help some of the penetration with the dye and the saturation levels, is what I'm told. And basically just help you get a better final result as far as the saturation level goes. So there's your line, and like I said, it's not completely straight because my cross wasn't completely straight to begin with, so I pre-made a little slip knot here. I'm gonna throw it over and just pull that tight and wrap around a couple of times. I also like to weave that little tail of the sinew back and forth because I feel like it helps lock it in. And we'll wrap around another couple times with the sinew, pull it tight, and just another couple times, pull that tight, and we'll cut that. So now we're gonna do a heart down here. Little tricky, but doable. So we're not gonna go for a very big heart. And I like to do a big kind of bold flare right there. And you can be as fancy with the heart as you want to be. That is going to work for us today. And so I like to start at the top of the heart just because I've found that that gives me the best result. And I'm just kind of trying to keep a straight line. It's a little difficult, but again, with practice, it's certainly possible. I'm just kind of slowly working my way down the line here, using one finger to kind of bring things into alignment and bring it back, and using the other hand and finger to keep things locked in place. And it's a little difficult, like I said, but you can also pinch and grab. I find that works. It's a little bit less effective, but as long as you still end up with a straight line at the end, that's really kind of your defining point. And mine's semi-straight. I'll probably do an extra few wraps of the sinew just to ensure that I get a big bold line. Pull that tight. And again, you can kind of feel the sinew bite down when you pull it tight. So this should give me a good heart there. So I've got a heart and a cross on the front. I'm going to do, I think, a mandala on the back. But first I'm going to do the sleeves. And I'll probably do one of each sleeve, so really wasn't much point in me putting these sleeves together. So, to do a heart on your sleeve, You're going to pull out your sleeve, make sure it's flat. And then we'll draw a heart or half heart. And again, I'm not going to be super fancy with it. Just like to have a big flare. Yeah, definitely not very fancy. But it'll work for our purposes. So again, just kind of using your finger to guide you and use the other finger to pinch it as you go. Make sure you follow the right line. Wow, that's not working at all. I'm gonna flip it. So let's try the heart sleeve on this side. So let's ensure that you got a nice flat surface. There you go. I'll draw half of a heart. It's a pretty big heart for your sleeve, but that's how it goes. And so we're just going to do kind of some bigger folds, about ½ inch or so. And so I'm just kind of using one finger to bring it up and into line, and then another finger to pinch it down and hold it together. So just kind of doing whatever you gotta do to keep your line straight there. And you can adjust as needed, but just kind of make sure that you get your line as straight as possible. Marking it a little extra just so I can make sure to get my die placement right. And keep tension on the sinew the whole time. Alright, so there should be a heart on your sleeve. So again, we got a cross, a heart, another heart, and I'm gonna do the mandala on this side. And in order to do that, you're gonna pull this side out, flatten it, and you want to find out where you want the center of your mandala. This shirt I'm wearing, the center is right under here. I might try and center it up here. Might prove to be a little bit more difficult, but I like a challenge. So, just gonna start with the basic airplane fold. That armpit there is giving me a little trouble. So, basic airplane fold. 1, that'll get you a 4-point mandala, and 2, that'll get you an 8-point. And we'll flip it over here, try and smooth everything out. Having that tied over here actually makes it a little bit more difficult, but just try and get it as flat as you can. And then first fold will get you that 4-point, and it's the second fold that gets you the 8-point. So there we go. It's an 8-point mandala on the sleeve. Gotta kind of try to make sure that your edges and lines are cohesive. And I'm going to do a little slip knot here. And I like to go at an angle, wrap a couple of times. Wrap a couple of times and pull, and you can feel the sinew bite down. Wrap a couple of times, pull, and then I'll try to switch angles. Wrap a couple of times and pull. So I think 6 to 8 wraps on the sleeve should be plenty. And again, just kind of trying to keep tension on the sinew the entire time. It's really helpful. And just kind of knowing what you want in your end result also helps. Kind of knowing placement and colors, all that's very key in trying to figure out the science of tie-dye. Also, it's good to have a good color palette. So again, I'm just kind of going back and forth, trying to keep pressure on the sinew. Try to pull it tight every, 3 to 5 times. Probably miss a beat or two every now and again, but so this should give you a pretty great mandala on your shoulder, your sleeve, whatever. And I'm probably going to throw a mandala on the back as well. You notice I tied the sleeves up first before attempting to do the back. There was some real strategy in that. Just because I've tied up a shirt and then wanted to go tie up the sleeves, then I figured out that it was really complicated and I didn't have as much room on the fabric as I had wanted because I was already tied. So I think maybe one more. Fun little fact about my sinew wrapper is a piece of driftwood from the Oregon beach. So I think we're gonna call that good, and we'll kind of unravel the shirt a little, find the back. Alright, and so my back is still marked out on the top and bottom. So here we are. And this might be a little bit of a challenge just because the nature of the ties that are already in place, but shouldn't really be much of an issue. Just kind of gotta get it to where I can do something with it. My goodness. Alright, let's try this. So, top and bottom, where I marked them out to be the center. Just gonna give that a shake. Probably gonna call that good enough. Push this guy to the back. Alright, I think we're getting somewhere here. So this will probably not be your cleanest mandala in the world. And maybe want to try the mandala first next time. But it is what it is, and we'll work with it. Alright, so probably, I don't know how many points we'll get on this guy. Gonna try for at least an 8 point. So there's your 8 point. Probably just stick with that for now, because I don't want to push it. So I'm just trying to get all my lines lined up here. And this part will probably be interesting just because of the nature of the folds already in place. So try and get your surface area as flat as possible. Do one flip for a 4 point. And 2 flips for an 8 point. And then I'm probably going to place some bands just to keep my hard work. And so for some reason my phone cut out while I was finishing tying up, and I was so in the zone I didn't even realize. But basically, in case anybody missed it, we've got a cross on the front, a heart on the front, a mandala on the back, a mandala on one shoulder sleeve, and a heart on one shoulder sleeve, and a spiral down the side. And now I'm going to dye it. So we're about to rinse this out. Got my mandalas and hearts. and swirl. And we're going to start with cold water. Get all that soda ash out. Kind of gently squeeze a little. Try not to get dye transfer anyplace. Got some good color saturation. I did end up doing a hot water irrigation on the mandalas just to attempt to get good saturation levels, but we'll see how that goes. Looks like a lot of the dye's coming out. And I think we're about ready to untie all the sinew. And again, we've got a cross, 2 hearts, and 2 mandalas. Alright, so that went quicker. Now we're going to rinse it out with some more cold water. And then a little bit of warm water, and then we'll get it off into the washer. But I think we've got some good things going on. Nice mandala. The heart turned out pretty epic. Where's the front here? Okay, it's upside down. So there's half the cross. That's the cross, and I'll get a final picture. And the heart turned out really well too. Can't see it that great, but once again, I'll get a good final picture. Yeah, you can see a lot of that dye coming out. Switch it to slightly warmer water. Get some more of that dye out. It's important to move the fabric around in the water. I guess it just depends on who you ask, because some people just throw the stuff straight in the washer, tied and all, but everybody has a different process. This is kind of just what works for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please feel free to leave any comments or suggestions in the area below. God bless.